What's up everyone, I'm Offending Commit and I'm going to be demystifying DevOps today. It was asked in the comments, and those who recognize, a little bit of an Easter egg in my Dinkum game save backup video, noticed a certain folder. I'm going to pull this up here, and this was actually renamed .git. I'm not going to hide it anymore. You found me. I'm a Git guru. Sorry. Actually, not sorry. Today I'm going to show you actually how to back up your Dinkum game saves with Git. If you don't know Git is a source code manager, and it is widely used in the software industry to track changes, and it basically makes a lot of the software development go. It's just I can't even really put into words how widely used it is, because it's used almost everywhere. But yeah, in the comments, it warmed my heart to see somebody notice a Git folder in there, and they asked me specifically if I could do a video on how to back up your game saves using Git. So that's what we're going to do today. Pretty cool stuff, actually, the way that I had this working. So I'm going to kind of go through step by step. If you don't have Git installed locally, I highly recommend just go ahead and I can do a whole nother video for that. Let me know in the comments if you want to see how to install Git. But Google is your friend. How do I install Git? It's spelled G-I-T. Okay, so let's get into it real quick. Since I already have a folder created, I'm just going to rename this back to backup. And I'll restore it in a bit to kind of show you the history of what I have. Okay, so we're assuming that you already have Git installed. You're likely going to be on a Windows machine, because since this is based around Dinkum is only available in Windows at this time. But what we're going to do is, after you have Git installed, we're going to open up PowerShell. Boop. PowerShell. And oh yeah, look at that sexy beast. Okay, so we're gonna go to our app data. It's gonna be the local low folder. James Benden Dinkum. Woo. All right, cool. Gotta remember all my my Windows command line stuff. Okay, so we're in the folder here. You can see, on the left-hand side, I have the Explorer window. On the right-hand side, I have the command line. I'm a big fan of using Git from the command line. It's just astronomically easier when you're wanting to do certain things. And there are lots of tools out there that allow you to manage Git, from a GUI, a graphic user interface, like an application. But it's just, I can't stress enough how much faster it is to use Git from the command line. Also, one of the fun things about being an engineer is that there's so many tools out there that are literally designed to allow you to do just about anything without taking your hands off the keyboard, without ever reaching for the mouse. Okay, I'll get off my soapbox. So how do we actually do this, right? If I just type in Git, it's going to give you a whole bunch of commands that you can do. If you've ever heard of a service called GitHub, a lot of people, all they know is, how do I create a repository, which is where all of the Git commits are stored. They only know how to create it from there. I'm going to actually teach you real quick how to create a repo locally. So we're going to do that with the git init command. Bada bing, bada boom. We want to use the main branch. I'm going to do a git status. Git status is always a really good sanity check. We're on branch master. I don't really like the master name. We're going to use main in this case. So right off the bat, we're going to git branch -m main. Let's do another git status. Now we're on branch main. I'm happy. Okay, cool. Next thing that we're going to do is we have done our git init. So we're going to, let's Let's clear our screen again. Sanity check. Git status. No commits yet. Untracked files. All right, so if you look here, right, we have all of the stuff that's in this folder, including that, you know, .backup. I'm gonna actually throw this on my desktop real quick. Where did I keep that? Cool. If you notice here, the .git folder, it's not really showing up. So first off, what we're gonna do is we'll do another git status. You can never do git status enough, truly. Okay, so Git has what's known as a staging area. The best way I can describe it is kind of like a box. If you close your eyes and you picture a box, basically what we're going to do is we're going to take everything that's in this folder and we're going to put it inside that box. If you're still following me so far, the box is open. It hasn't been closed yet. Just hold on to that thought. So we're going to git add, and we're going to do this little period here. That's a shortcut that says, hey, we're going to add everything. Ignore that message. It's really technical. We won't worry about it. So if I do another git status, right, you got everything. Like you see all of the files from my game saves here, right? Slot 0, slot 1, like everything is listed. So my git status shows me that this is all the stuff that I have in that box. All right, let's clear screen again. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do what's called a commit. This is equivalent, you still got that box idea in your head, right? This is the equivalent to grabbing some tape, taping up that box, and we're gonna stick a label on it. Okay, so git commit -m. M is for message, so this is the label that we're gonna attach to this. And we're gonna say game save. Let's see, what's the date of this video? 3/17. So we'll do, you know, 3/17/2023. It's simple. Hit enter, and you don't know who the heck I am. So let's configure that real quick. Git config, I can't type. Git config -- global is a global change. It's gonna be, you know, for everything. Actually, we won't do that just yet. We'll just, if I don't use that, my username will be, it'll only apply to this repo. So offending commit, and boop, that's my name. User.name is literally your name. It's not like username, right? And then my email, git config user.email equals offending commit email. That's a little simple. All right, cool. So now that we have that set up, we're gonna hit our arrow key up and do this commit again. Boop. Bingo. So if I do another git status on branch main, nothing to commit, working tree clean, that means that we've sealed the box, and metaphorically speaking, we've taken the box and we've moved it off of our desk, put it on the shelf somewhere. So our desk is clean at this point. So we can also see git log. We can see there's my commit there. Game save 03/17/2023. Now, up to this point, we've done this manually, right? We have added the stuff to the box. We have sealed the box, put a label on it, and stored it on a shelf. So I wrote not too long ago a script here, and you can see that it's very, very simple, and it's very, very tiny. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. View. Let's see. actually type this out. It's easier. So my script is actually be easier. I just open up Notepad because I know I can make this bigger. You zoom in. So my script is very simple. It's git add period git commit -m backup and then git push. The git push is really only important if you're pushing to a remote repository, in this case GitHub, and we're going to get to that in just a minute. So that's the script. That's how easy it is, right? And you save it as a PowerShell. The PowerShell file, you can name it whatever you want, but in this case I did backup.ps1. That's the extension for PowerShell. All right, so let's back out of here real quick. We're not going to really save this, and this is kind of where the magic happens, right? So we have our script here. You know exactly what the contents are, and we're gonna go to Windows. We're gonna go to Task Scheduler. You just search for Task Scheduler or Scheduler, and we go to the library. We're gonna go to Create Task. We're gonna say, name it Backup Dinkum. Then we're gonna go to Triggers, New, on a schedule. You can say daily. That's easy to remember, right? And that's it, right? We're just gonna do it daily. You can have it run more often, but what I noticed when I ran mine, because I was a little crazy, I ran mine every 15 minutes, which means that every time there's a game save, it would pick up any changes, commit them, and then push them up. The bad thing is that every time I ran this script, if you're running Dinkum in full screen mode, it's going to take that focus away, and that annoyed the hell out of me. Also, funny story, I had taken a little bit of a break from Dinkum for a bit, and when I was playing other games, I didn't realize that this script was still set up, and it would cause my games to just take focus away. So just remember, if you put this on here, I think daily is probably a good thing. You know, just make sure that your computer would be online or powered on when this runs, and hopefully it's running at a time that you're not playing a game, because the script window will pop up. You get it. Okay, so next little tab here is actions. We're going to do new program script. The action is start a program here. We're going to go to browse, and we're going to type in %app data. We're going to go back to the Dinkum save folder. So that's local low, James Benton, Dinkum, and then here we are. So my backup script right here, we're going to select that, or however you wanted to name it, and we're going to hit open. So that is it. That's essentially it. You can add some other conditions here. You can, play around with them however you want to do it. I don't think this task runs like less than a second. It's super fast. So other than that, that's it. That's the basics, right? Backup Dinkum, hit OK, and now this task is going to run every day. You can actually, let's go back here real quick. If we go to the triggers, just make sure the time is going to be good, and then you put the start date and everything. So that's just a little call out for you, just to remember. So once you have that set up, your Dinkum your Dinkum saves will at the very least be backed up in here to GitHub, or excuse me, let me not misspeak. At the very least, your game saves will be backed up into Git, They'll be stored in the .git folder here, which in this case at the moment is hidden. So if you go to view, there's a little checkbox here, hidden items, you can see the .git folder. So yeah, at the very least, your game saves will be here. But good practice with Git, you know, Git is decentralized. That means that the opposite of centralized, it's not in just one place. It's designed to be distributed. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to GitHub. We're going to create a new repository. We'll use the offending commit. We're going to say Dinkum saves. I would recommend choosing private. You don't want anybody else to access your saves unless you do, but we'll just keep, you know, private as the default. We keep everything else defaults, and we're going to create repository. So now what we're going to do is we are going to copy the SSH key here, or you can do HTTPS. Depends on how you want to do it. And we're going to follow these prompts here. These are some easy ways to add the remote repository. So we're going to tell our local Git repo here how to, we're going to tell our local Git repository here where it can go to push our commits up. So we follow these steps already. We've done a git init. We've done our first commit. We've created our branch. Now we're going to add our origin remote. So you can easily just copy paste a lot of these commands here. I'll use, if I could do git remote -v, we can see there. I'm going to test the connection out with the git fetch. And it looks like it'll prompt me for a credential helper. So we're going to do manager. We're going to sign in with GitHub. It's very easy to do. So we'll sign in with my browser. I'm already signed into GitHub, so I will authorize the Git ecosystem. Whee! Authenticate into GitHub. Okay, cool. So at this point, we're authenticated into GitHub. Now what we're going to do is, since we have a commit, we're going to do git push. Yes. So we need to set our upstream. Well, what that means is that Git is really good at tracking places in a repository. So when we do git push -u, we're doing the exact same command up here. Set upstream origin main. We're saying I want to push my main branch locally to the origin main branch, and it's going to upload all the things. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, so now that we have that connection established, we've done everything manually. We have our task scheduled to run every day at the same time, and as you play Dinkum, as you make game saves, you know, if you have the Steam Cloud enabled, that's going to work. But in addition to that, right, you also have your own backups. I'm offending commit, and you just watched me talk a lot about Git. Hopefully I didn't lose you. If you're still here, go ahead and give a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Let me know in the comments what you think. And also, the like is very important. It lets me know that you like this content. It also lets YouTube know to see more content like that, and also does wonders for the Dinkum community. It's small, it's mighty, and they are some of the friendliest people you'll ever meet. All right, I'll see y'all next time.